Berachot Perek Bet Mishnah Che. We learned in Mishnah He about Rabban Gamliel and how Rabban Gamliel decided that even though a chatan, someone who marries, is patur from Kriyat Shema, the first night of his wedding, nonetheless he decided to recite Kriyat Shema. He felt that he was appropriate. He said, "You're not going to be mevatel. You're not going to negate me from reciting Kriyat Shema. Afilu layla achad, afilu sha'a achad. Even 1 hour, I'm going to accept upon myself Shem Shammai." So the Mishnah continues and says, based on Rabban Gamliel, in this case, interestingly, we learn a broader principle that expanded in general. Says the Mishnah, Chatan, a groom, Im ratzah likrot Kriyat Shema layla harishon, kareh. If he wants to recite Kriyat Shema the first night, he may read. Just so happens I married a couple last night, and all Chatanim do this. The Chatan said Shema with us. Actually, it was before his wedding, but he recited, he davened Mari with the rest of us, and then we went on with the wedding. And that's the way it is. That's the accepted practice today. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Lo kol harotzeh litol et Hashem litol. Whoa. Lo kol harotzeh litol et Hashem. Not everyone who wants to, litol means to take. Not everyone who wants to take the name should take it. I.e., says Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, what does it mean when a chatan? The reason, the halacha is, at least in his time, the halacha was a chatan was patur from reciting Kriyat Shema the night of his wedding. Why? Because we learned that he was asuk b'tirda shel mitzvah. He was engaged in, his mind was consumed with the future mitzvah that he was going to fulfill. And now all of a sudden he's saying, but so what? Anyone can go ahead and recite Kriyat Shema. It's not such a big deal. Says Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, not everyone who wants to take the name should be able to take the name. Not everyone who thinks that I can concentrate and I'm okay and this is something that I know how to do, not everyone should do that. So there's an interesting, fascinating thing, a fascinating idea called Yuhara. In Gemara it's called michzeh ki Yuhara. Yuhara means haughtiness or pride. Yuhara means, I know really the halacha says I can do it, I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So it seems that Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, not everyone is as special as they think they are, that they're such a person who's able to concentrate and focus, and there seems to be a problem of Yuhara. It's a very fascinating question regarding, it just so happens, let's go in. First of all, the Kahati quotes the Tosfot who say that today, the Reisha of the Mishnah, the first part of the Mishnah, that Chatan can be Koreh, is the dominant one, and not the opinion of Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel. It's very interesting. It seems Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel is defending the honor of his father, Rabban Gamliel. See, listen, not everybody's my father, but the Tosfot say, Kahati quotes the Tosfot and say that in our day, i.e. in their day, how much kavanah do we really have? Like we're not Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, we're not Rabban Gamliel. So how much kavanah do we have on any other night? Can we say that, well, I'm tarud b'tirda the mitzvah, and therefore it takes me away from my kavanah? So since it's so hard to say that we're not really able to focus and concentrate anyway, therefore it's not considered Yuhara. In fact, the opposite, he writes, Adarabba, the opposite is true. Im lo yikra tehezu yihirut. If a person isn't going to say Shema, if the Chatan says, I'm not going to say Shema, it's my wedding night, I'm very much focused, that's Yuhara, because that says that on every other night, I have much more kavanah. So this idea of Yuhara, of michzeh ki Yuhara, of something looking like michzeh is to look like Yuhara, haughtiness, it's a very, very funny thing. Because on the one hand, if a person does something special, then it's Yuhara. But if he doesn't do something special, then it could also be Yuhara. And that's exactly our case. That the Chatan, nowadays, who doesn't say Shema, he is Yuhara. Whereas Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, and in his time, if he did say Shema, that was Yuhara. So, which one is it? So it's very interesting. It has a lot of halachic ramifications nowadays. I remember my grandfather told me that there was a phenomenon, when he was in YU in the 1930s, there was a new phenomenon of Bachurim wearing their tzitzis out. And so they asked the Rosh Yeshiva, what do they think about Bachurim wearing their tzitzis out? And he says, it's not michzeh ki Yuhara. It's not look like Yuhara. It's Yuhara. That's haughtiness. So I don't think anybody would say that Bachurei Yeshiva Bachurim wearing their tzitzis out is Yuhara today. A very fascinating question. So they asked Rav Dov Lior this question about what about wearing tefillin all day long? The question is like this. The Biur Halacha says that a person who can focus and keep his body clean, yaniach tefillin kol hayom. Okay? And then they said, Muva beketer rosh b'shem hagra. The Gra, the Vilna Gaon, was very upset about his generation. Shemevatlim ikar mitzvah de tefillin. Why do they wear tefillin all day? Because really, you're supposed to wear tefillin all day. Why don't we wear tefillin all day? Because but if someone can keep his body clean, then he should wear tefillin, should he not? Says Rav Dov Liori answers, Adayin sarich lachshosh li Yuhara. There's that word, Yuhara. You should be concerned for Yuhara. So what's the line? Hageder shel Yuhara hu lefi hazman v'hamakom. The time and the place. B'makom she'af echad lo meniach tefillin b'meshach hayom v'ata rotzeh leniach tefillin ze nachshav ki Yuhara. If nobody else wears tefillin and then you're going to walk into the office wearing tefillin all day, what you're saying is, all you losers, you guys can't focus. But me, I wear tefillin all day. If there's a whole group of people, then do that. It's interesting. Where I live in Yad Binyamin, there's a yeshiva called Torat HaChaim, and the Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Tal, he's very much into wearing tefillin all day. So you walk into the yeshiva, they're wearing tefillin. And it's not unusual. But if you would take those same people into a different yeshiva, that would be Yuhara. And this is the subtext of our Mishnah. The Chatan on his wedding night. So today, if a Chatan would say, no, I don't want to say Shema, that would be Yuhara. Whereas in the times of Rabbi Berachot Gamliel, if the Chatan would say, I do want to say Shema, that would be Yuhara. It's also very interesting. It speaks to one more topic, and then I'll wrap up. It speaks to halachic inflation of Chumrot. Because Rabban Gamliel, he decided, I want to say Shema. And all of a sudden, one generation later, the Mishnah says, Chatan, if he wants to say Kriyat Shema, he can be machmir to say Kriyat Shema. We see it all the time. The Chumrot of the Rosh Yeshivot, or the Gedolim, from a generation ago, they become our norm. And there's like a progression of Chumrot, and it's something that the Mishnah seems to be documenting, and something that we need to be aware of as well. As always, have a great day. If you have any comments or questions, rspalter@gmail.com. I want to dedicate today's learning to the memory of my brother-in-law's father, Yisrael Tuckman, who passed away. These learnings should be Le'ilui Nishmatot, Hey Nishmatot Tzura V'Tzorach Chayim. Have a good day.